This is more like it. Definitely more than 1 or 2 centimetres. There's been a dusting of snow down to the valley in Argentière and up at Mont Roch Le Tour. Probably 5 or 6 centimetres of snow down to the valley. So you can be sure there's quite a bit more than this up on the mountain. So winter's definitely biting back a little bit. This is just the appetizer. There's potentially quite a bit more coming through the middle of the week. But between now and then, as always, it's getting very warm again for a couple of days. Back in the high mountains, first time in probably over a month. Man, it feels good to be back. Conditions up here pretty much perfect as well. We had that snow a couple of days ago, so had a chance to consolidate, but it wasn't too warm up here yesterday, so it's not really heavy yet, at least not at the top, so looking pretty good. Some time to kill, so just practicing our crevasse rescue techniques. Something that, just like avalanche rescue, you should practice this at least once a season, which most of us are guilty of not doing enough. So, for argument's sake, my friend's in a crevasse down there, which is currently my rucksack. I've got an anchor here. In most situations, this would be some kind of buried ski anchor. Conveniently, I've got a nice rock. You would never belay off of a rock this size, but it's big enough to hold a bag. So, everyone's crevasse rescue kit's gonna be slightly different, so exactly what you get, exactly what you have will dictate what you do. I'm going to do a simple 3-to-1 Z hoist. So I have my nano traction, which is going to attach to the anchor. So this is your progress capture device. And then I've already thrown the victim the rope with a knot in the end so he can attach it to himself. This is assuming that this person is able to communicate with you. Got the live rope going up to my nano traction. That person in the crevasse is now safe for all intents and purposes. I have a T-block. You could use a prusik for this. T-block is just more efficient, but before I bought this I used to use the prusik. Attach that somewhere to the rope. They usually have some kind of diagram on to show you which way you need to go, but for this instance the orange is towards your victim, or casualty rather. Attach another carabiner onto there, and then I have a pulley. Not everyone has a pulley. This just makes the friction less. And there we are now. That is our simple 3-to-1 Z hoist setup under load. Not a huge amount of load because it's only a rucksack, so I can pull that really easily. So you can do this by hand, but in reality that person's going to be a lot heavier than a rucksack, so the way to make this much more simple if you're on your own is to use your legs instead. So I'm going to tie a clove hitch in the loose end of the rope, attach this to my harness, and now using my legs rather than my arms I can pull much more weight. And my friend is now safe. Voila. Hard to believe it's this time of year again already, but today is the first big mountain trail club of the season. Usually the harbinger of spring, but it cannot feel further from spring-like than it does right now. It's currently 1 degree C, and as you can probably tell, snowing. Expecting some significant snowfall tonight, so very much winter is back on. Trail runners are a hardy bunch.
That's the main thing.
Runs the last Wednesday of every month from now until October. Usually quite a short, friendly run, followed by a drink at the pub. Look at this. I would say what a welcome surprise, except this wasn't a surprise, it was forecast, but it's certainly welcome. It's nice to be walking to the lift in the snow again, rather than the rain. Probably the first time since mid-January. March powder in Saint-Gervais is the best. It's not been a mega dump, at least not compared to parts of Austria and Switzerland, which has been getting probably 1.5 meters of snow yesterday and today. There's only 20 to 30 centimetres here, but there's just absolutely no one here. There's just no stress, no pressure. You can do everything nice and relaxed. You haven't got to try and do your boots up in a crowded gondola and charge out absolutely to get to the first tracks. It's probably 10 o'clock. The lifts have been open since 8:30. I got basically the place to myself. The snow is a little bit dust on crust, but because it started snowing well before the base froze yesterday, it's not just simply blower powder on top of ice. There's kind of a transition layer where it gets gradually firmer as you're going down. So yeah, you are hitting the base on every single turn, but it's like having a little bit of suspension in your knees. There's that kind of couple of centimetres where the snow is just a little bit softer before you then hit the ice underneath, so still incredibly pleasant. Midday and still nobody's tracked the Croix de Quisglade except me. This is magical. This just never happens. And this isn't just a short cut through either. This is a full length run, top to bottom, lift to lift, and it's all mine. I jinxed it. That's one pair that's followed me, but still, there's so much to go out there. Once that glade's tracked out, I just move one to the right, and then one to the right, and then one to the right. So, still, endless possibilities. What an amazing day. Probably top 5 for the season, perhaps even top 3 in terms of inbound skiing. Sure, it wasn't that deep, but when there's no one else skiing it, it really doesn't need to be that deep. 20 centimetres is more than enough when you've got untouched lap after untouched lap after untouched lap. So yeah, that was brilliant. And check this out now, it's gone 4 PM. I'm right next to the Princess home run, back to Bet-X, about to ski through a virtually untouched field. So just keeps giving today. So I thought the Contamine had let me down today. It's my usual go-to place, day one after a storm, for good low-angle powder. But unfortunately today, virtually the entire upper mountain was obliterated by the wind. It was all either ice or hard wind crust. But the beauty of the Contamine is it faces every single aspect, so all that snow has to have gone somewhere. You just have to find it. Eventually we did. There was some lovely snow to be found, just in very, very small pockets. But there's so few people up there, it really didn't matter. You keep lapping the same lines over and over again all day, and there's only like 20 other people skiing the powder, so still plenty of fun to be had. It is the start of the main UK schools' Easter holidays this weekend for the next 2 weeks. So you can expect things to get a little bit busier over the next few days in the Chamonix region, but generally speaking, not that many Brits come to this area for the Easter holidays because it's not that snowshore. We're relatively low resorts here. Most of them will be off to Val Thorens or Teens, so it shouldn't make a huge difference with the holidays coming up, at least not next week anyway. The following week, when the French schools are on holiday, then it will get a bit busier. It looks like the weather's staying pretty cold, in at least the short to medium term, the next 3 or 4 days. We'll continue to see northerly or northwesterly winds with more snow coming down over the weekend and perhaps into the start of next week as well. Nothing mega, just a few centimetres, but it's going to keep topping everything up, keep refreshing all the pistes, keep reloading some of the upper slopes as well, so yeah. Still plenty of great skiing to be had, even though we are inching towards the end of the season now. But the avalanche risk is pretty high again. It was 4 out of 5 both yesterday and today. So more wind and more snow on the way over the coming days. You can expect it will be staying at least 3 out of 5, if not 4 out of 5, for the next 3 or 4 days, if not longer as well. So just be aware, if you're heading up into the high mountains, it's still very, very dangerous up there.